Hello and welcome to my happy surprise. And it isn't that this is day 4 of the sunshine, although that has definitely been a welcome relief. But yesterday I got Encounter in Rendlesham Forest. This is the book I mentioned by Nick Pope and with John Burroughs and Jim Peniston about the events that occurred in 1980. And I also received They Are Already Here, UFO Culture and Why We See Saucers. That's by Sarah Scholes. They're the two books that I had borrowed from the public library, so I'm very excited now to have my own copies of those. So thank you very much. And yes, those were gifts from my sweet husband. The other upside is that I still have my library book. As you can tell, I have a number of pages marked, and I checked this morning the pages in my paperback match the pages in the hard copy. I'll be going through and moving those tags over into the other book, which means it'll be that much easier to start pulling the information together because there are dates that I want to start moving over to my timelines. And there's also a number of new names that I need to add to that list that keeps growing of names that come up in the various books and the different genres, so how they all connect. I also wanted to read on the inside cover, because that is the one thing about a hard copy versus a paperback. They don't always include the same information that comes on the inside cover of a hard copy. Roswell was only the beginning. An in-depth look at the Rendlesham Forest UFO incident, the world's most sensational and compelling series of UFO encounters. Over a series of 3 nights in December 1980, an extraordinary series of UFO incidents took place in Rendlesham Forest in the United Kingdom, next to 2 United States Air Force bases. This was not some vague sighting of lights in the sky, but a controlled landing and takeoff. The UFO was tracked on military radar and left physical evidence at the landing site, including damage and scorch marks on the trees, indentations in the frozen ground, and abnormally high levels of radiation. The UFO was seen by dozens of military witnesses, including the deputy base commander. The object fired light beams at some of the men and later into the weapons storage area, where some military personnel based there at the time allege that nuclear weapons were kept. They used the word alleged because, as they discuss throughout this book, the military does not say, and for obvious reasons, where they have various nuclear weapons and such things stored. Encounter in Rendlesham Forest tells the extraordinary story of the world's most compelling and best evidenced UFO incident, a case that's more significant than the infamous Roswell incident. Co-written by former United Kingdom government UFO investigator Nick Pope with John Burroughs and Jim Peniston, the 2 military witnesses at the heart of these encounters. This disturbing and compelling book tells the inside story of what really happened and lifts the lid on the true role played by the government, the military, and the intelligence community in relation to the UFO phenomena. This controversial new book is largely based on recently declassified government files and is the only UFO book ever to have needed security clearance from both the American and British governments. Encounter in Rendlesham Forest will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the UFO mystery. This book was published in 2014, so 10 years ago, which means there are more government files that have likely been released since then. Having read the book, I definitely agree that it will change or validate some of the thoughts that you may have regarding the UFO phenomena, the role of the government. The CIA is mentioned, of course, the Ministry of Defense is mentioned. There are a number of different people involved, along with, of course, the United States military, because this occurred between two of their bases that were on British soil. At the end of the book, they update information regarding those two military bases, and their purpose has now changed. It could be even different now because, as I say, this book is 10 years old. I will definitely be taking a deeper dive both into Encounter in Rendlesham Forest and They Are Already Here in an upcoming video. That will likely be in perhaps a month or two from now because there really is, as I say, a lot of information to process, collate, connect, and of course, looking into some of the things that have happened since these books were published. I am hoping that both John Burroughs and Jim Penniston were able to get their military records so that they could get the proper treatment that they needed for physical issues that they've been going through. That was one very disturbing part of the story, although there's certainly other things that came up that have definitely made me start to wonder and think about a number of different things. No, I'm not about to go all conspiracy theory. There are certainly different things that happen, and there's reasons that some information doesn't come out, but it definitely has made me pause, think, and consider about different information that comes out, and certainly recent things in the media, and why at certain times suddenly there's sightings or waves of UFOs, or the media starts to report on it. The other book that I mentioned, They Are Already Here, was published in 2020. And I won't read the inside flap right now because, as I say, I have the copy, so I'll read that when I go into the deeper dive on that book. So I just wanted to share my happy news and excitement about these two surprise gift books, and I'm very much looking forward to getting into both of them. At the moment, I'm still wrapping up with Talking to the Dead by George Newry and Rosemary Ellen Guiley. I'll be moving on to Ghost Hunters by Deborah Blum because she, of course, has a section there on the Fox sisters. This has become quite an adventure and exciting because I enjoy researching and looking into this information. I'm looking forward to pulling this all together and starting the episodes of Hoax or Holy Grail. That may be at least a month in the future, depending on how quickly all this information comes together. But as I said, I do want to be sure that the information that I'm pulling together is going to be of some value and interest to people. I'm very much enjoying the process of getting back into doing this type of work again, because I enjoy learning about new things, pulling facts together. I'm still trying to decide how I'm going to present them, whether it's just me chatting and having different things pop up of pictures of people, or whether I'm going to set it up like a PowerPoint presentation. Either way, it's very exciting, and there's planning and research and other things involved, but this is the type of thing that I enjoy doing, along with, of course, reading, gardening, and spending time with my cats. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read They're Already Here or Encounter in Rendlesham Forest. If you're still here, be sure to give me either a thumbs up or a little happy face in the comments down below. If you're interested in either of these books, be sure to give that like button a little tickle. And until next time, have a great one.